let's talk about tomorrow's game because Punjab takes on Gujarat at Mohali. Is the 18th game. And well, both Gujarat and Punjab have got quite a nice mix there. Gujarat, of course, lost their last game to that nail-biting finisher, which I don't think we can get over. It's this historic game and Rinku took it over. Rashid's hat-trick, so much happened in that game.
That was a game for the ages. So much happened. Venkatesh Iyer came back into form. Vijay Shankar, I think from Gujarat Titans' point of view, if he can nail that position at number 4, it solves so many problems for them.
What did you say?
For Gujarat Titans.
Number 4.
For Gujarat Titans, Baba. Because they've got Sai Sudarshan at 3.
It breaks his own rules.
But this is for Gujarat Titans in T20.
We can't say number 4. We can't say it. 1 second later, you're saying it. Oh, goodness. Never mind. Carry on. Number 4, what?
Go to your Cairo. What is that? Cairo to Cape Town road in Bulawayo, where you come from. Go and sit in that.
Okay, but let's look at who's at number 4. Let's have a look at Gujarat's squad.
Gee whiz. That's a good side dish.
You know, if Hardik comes back and Miller's in form, but much like Hetmeyer, they're also leaving Miller a little too late.
So I think that's a lengthening of the batting lineup story. I think it's an impact player, all of this, and trying to organize. I don't think they've got it down pat. I don't think they...
Tell me, Pommie, what do they do if Hardik comes back? Gill and Saha giving them good starts. Sai Sudarshan has played really well. Then number 4 is Vijay Shankar. Number 5 is Hardik Pandya. Number 6 is David Miller. Is that how you play it? You have
So I think...
You still got a keeper and 4 overs in your top 6, so that's still fine.
Yeah, so I think what's important is the arrangement of your key players playing the important parts of the game. And however you get that done, whether it's by holding someone back or by sending them in at number 4.
He's rubbing it in now.
Send him back to Bulawayo.
And the reason I speak about this is because if you're Gujarat Titans, you don't want to forget what your formula was. Do you remember when they were sending Hardik in early and they were saying, nah, he needs to bat. You know, he'd walk in at 3, he'd open, he'd walk in at 4. Miller, instead of batting at 5 and 6, batting at 4. And I'm not doing it anymore, by the way. Yeah. But those things, Hardik Pandya, David Miller, and their batting positions through the season where they became champions was crucial to the way that they played, was crucial to unlocking the rest of the batting lineup. It also put the most difficult times in games on the most experienced guys, the most senior guys. So all of that still needs to play out despite the little tweaks in terms of the regulation with impact players and so forth. So you don't want to miss out on your good players taking on the mantle and enjoying the pressure of the big occasion and of the situation, and leaving them to try and do too much in too little time.
One other thing, we saw RR today, we'll see GT tomorrow. One of the things both teams do is they don't fool around with their players. They don't make too many changes. RR, see how stable.
Yes.
This RR team that played today is very similar to the RR team that started the season last year. The Gujarat Titans team that's won 2 out of 3 and should have really won 3 out of 3 most days is very similar to the team that played last year. I know they've let Lockie Ferguson go, but it's still very similar in its structure to the team that played last year. And that tells me that everybody there understands their roles.
They also, clearly Ashish Nehra and Hardik backed their players because Josh Little, they've backed him for all the games so far. So that's a really positive sign.
They've got one fantastic bowler who's just rising up the ranks in world cricket in the last 12 to 18 months. That's Alzari Joseph.
He's been wonderful.
He just runs to 142, 143. He bowled a bouncer to Riley Russo. And Riley Russo is a serious player. He's on the circuit, one of the most feared players. And he did him for pace caught at gully. Alzari is, I think that...
The middle over passage is completely him.
No Lockie means Alzari is getting a bigger role to play. He's bowling very well.
But a thought on Yash, because, Rinku called him up and said that guy, this happens, it's just one off bad.
He must have said, Bhaiya, itna pyar tha to kyun mara panchwa? But yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Let's have a look at Punjab's squad now, because the other day they lost to Hyderabad. And the lone warrior there was Shikhar Dhawan. He got that 99.
Yeah.
But the batting didn't quite fire the other day. Of course, the positive Nathan Ellis, he's been looking good. But what do you think? Livingston comes in tomorrow.
Yeah, he's back. Yeah, he's fit again. Liam Livingston.
If he's fit, if he's match fit, he plays. He plays straight for Matthew Short. And they, I wouldn't mind them actually going Sam Curran, Liam Livingston, Nathan Ellis, Kagiso Rabada.
So yeah, I don't know if he's fit he plays. I don't know if that's how that squad thinks about things because
Perhaps Simran's doing well. They just need to find somebody to play at 3. So if Livingston can go in, maybe bat at 3 or 4 along with Jitesh Sharma.
Yeah, the tough thing, Harsha, is here's a bloke who's coming back from injury.
Correct. So we don't
Here's
know.
a guy who's not hit a ball for a while, and if he has, he's hit it in the nets. And so,
Give him a practice game first.
He's a big player, big money player, all of that, right? And generally, you'll say, not to say he's like Lionel Messi, but if if Lionel Messi is unfit and then he gets fit, you don't put him on the bench, then bring him on. You bring him on. He goes on to the, you could say the same about Kagiso Rabada. He's away, he turns up, and you think big money player, onto the field. But you can't mess around with form because those who have it, you've got to try and go with them. And it must then become evident to you that maybe the form's gone and the guy's not doing, playing above himself or whatever. And then you go back to what I tried and tested. And balancing that is the difficulty when it comes to the selection, because it's not just about the form of those guys who who have been playing. It's, do I have my place back as your main guy, right? That's the question. And if I do, then it doesn't matter who's been playing well. I come back and I get back in the team. And teams are trying to balance that to take care of it.
Can you imagine you have Kagiso Rabada, the new ball, you have Arshdeep and Sam Curran bowling at the back end. You've got Nathan Ellis to give you wickets through the middle overs, and you've got Rahul Chahar. That's as good a bowling team as any in the tournament. Now the batters, and they were dreadful against Sunrisers. Shikhar played an outstanding innings, but they were dreadful. But with that bowling lineup, and Harpreet Brar, if you still want to play him, with that bowling lineup, if the batters are giving you 160, 165 regularly, you're backing them to win it because you've got 2 outstanding death bowlers. You've got a fantastic bowler at the top. It's a great bowling side. I wonder if they'll go that way, though.
Yeah, it looks like a great bowling side, but if you all have to back 2 players for tomorrow, who would they be? Well, 1 from each team.
Oh, 1 from each team. Oh, right. Okay. Well,
Yash Dayal.
Oh, that's
a populist choice.
Yeah. So Arshdeep Singh, I think that the partnership between Arshdeep Singh and Rabada will be an awesome one.
Yeah.
And 1 from Gujarat.
I'm going Shikhar Dhawan for Punjab because he's in such good form. I'd like to see how he tackles situation where a lot of other batting is not working well. For Punjab, I'm thinking, I think Gill needs to...
For Gujarat, Gill.
Yeah, for Gujarat. I think Gill really needs to get that big one at the top. He started off the season really well. So I'd like to see how Gill goes at the top. So I'm looking at the 2 openers on either side.